This is where exchange happens. So this is the whole purpose of vascularization, to move oxygen into tissues and carbon dioxide back into the vessels. We're going to start by looking at the capillary anatomy. So detailed look at what capillaries actually look like. We'll talk about the 3 types of capillaries. And then we'll look at factors that affect flow into and out of the capillary. And then finally, we'll talk about the actual process of diffusion, where we'll look at some math, calculating the pressures of how diffusion takes place. So capillaries are basically between the blood, that capillary, that vessel, and the tissue. So this is where oxygen is diffused, nutrients are brought in, carbon dioxide leaves. It's a small diameter, so about 5 to 10 millimeters, and this facilitates that process. We don't want a large diffusion barrier to obstruct the process of diffusion. So there's a small diameter in between blood and the tissues or cells that oxygen is diffusing into. Now we have one cell layer, so whereas in other areas of the vasculature, we've seen fibrous tissue, we've seen smooth muscle, and then we see the endothelial layer, in capillaries, all we have is endothelial layer. So it's just one layer of endothelial cells, and this provides a small diffusion barrier once again. In capillaries, we have the greatest total cross-sectional circumference, or surface area, the greatest among all of our vasculature. And that is pretty much because we have so many capillaries. It's the most abundant vasculature, or branch of the vasculature, rather. And this allows the slowing of flow. So we're going to see that at the capillary level, flow slows significantly, the velocity of the flow. And this is to facilitate that diffusion. This needs time. So it's not just going to be just flowing through the way it does in arteries and